Hello, hello, hello. Happy, what day is today? Tuesday, May 7th here. It is now 7:03 here, getting us going here on this Tuesday evening. Now, listen, we're talking about the potential for some severe weather as we head through the day tomorrow. And that's why I wanted to jump on here this evening to really highlight and time out everything for you, your family, so we can all stay on top of the weather situation, because literally tomorrow is probably one of the most significant severe weather days that we will have seen in quite some time. And all indications are going that direction. So I wanted to hop on here and see how everyone was doing and really give you that weather update. So we're just talking all things severe weather. If you have any questions here this evening, fire away. I won't be able to answer specifically what county, exactly what the counties are going to get, what cities are going to get. But I want you to tune in and make sure you kind of follow along. And we'll go through several different severe weather situations and maps to really help you plan your Wednesday. Now today, it turned out to be a gorgeous day. We were talking about the potential for maybe some isolated strong to severe thunderstorms if we could tap into the atmosphere, and well, it just never came to fruition, which is good. We don't want that severe weather whatsoever. And again, tomorrow morning, join us at 7 o'clock in the morning for Wake Up with Witcher. We will be broadcasting live tomorrow morning, coming up at 7 o'clock. We'll talk about the severe weather potential. We'll get more model guidance to help us out throughout the day. So I see some of you already hopping on here this morning. So good morning. I'm used to saying morning, Beth. Hey, Beth, and James Roy, and we got Mindy Hahn on here. So glad you could join on here, as well as Brenda Grams. And Elizabeth just jumping in here. Are we expecting tornadoes tonight or early in the morning tomorrow? No and no. So let's get to work with the forecast, shall we? So I will pick up our timeline here at 7 o'clock on our Futurecast. And again, we haven't seen a whole lot of activity here throughout the day today. And by the way, if you're jumping on here right now, would you mind just subscribing or sharing the live right now so other folks can really see what's going to be happening? If you haven't seen this yet around town, of course, there's a lot of us talking about it. There's a lot of meteorologists here in this town. But if you haven't seen anything, make sure you share everything that you see. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel and all the East Tennessee weather platforms as well. And if you don't have the East Tennessee weather app, we will walk you through how beneficial this app is going to be when we are talking potential for severe weather tomorrow night, while we're sleeping into Thursday morning. All right, so let's get to work, shall we? All right, so picking up our timeline on our Futurecast at 7 o'clock here this evening. And again, we haven't seen a whole lot of activity. Now, could we see maybe a couple of overnight showers and maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder? Yeah, the possibility's there. Remember, we still have a little bit of a risk overnight tonight. I just don't think that we're going to see a whole lot. So I wouldn't anticipate a whole lot of activity overnight tonight into the early morning hours. So that takes us to 7 o'clock Wednesday morning. So get a good night's rest tonight, okay? Because tomorrow night may not be the case. We're going to be staying up all night long broadcasting severe weather coverage, which, by the way, you'll be able to get on all East Tennessee weather platforms, whether it be Roku TV, Amazon Fire, YouTube, East Tennessee Weather Facebook page. We've got the Mike Witcher TV Facebook page, and we also have Twitter. And I will be broadcasting live on all of those platforms. And you can watch it from your bed, on the cell phone, or on your tablet, or on your computer. Okay, so not much going on overnight tonight and through the early morning hours. Okay, we're not talking temperatures or anything like that. I'm literally just talking about severe weather potential for the day tomorrow. So if you were with us this morning, the Storm Prediction Center had a level 2 and a level 3 risk for severe storms, okay, for tomorrow. Now, this takes us Wednesday into Thursday. This is a 24-hour period that the Storm Prediction Center issues these risk levels, okay? Well, level 2 and level 3 risk. There's only 5 categories when we're talking severe weather. And I'll try to get back to the chat and answer your questions as much as possible, but I want to really get to work with the forecast. Okay, but they've expanded. They've expanded that level 3 risk to include most of East Tennessee. It's been quite some time since we've had an enhanced risk. When you break that risk level down, here's what it looks like. Okay, so we do have a tornado risk. That will be a possibility. So let's look at a couple things. Okay, so we do have a tornado risk. I will tell you that. The atmosphere is conducive to produce tornadoes. So this is Wednesday into Thursday, and we have anywhere from 5 to 10% probability. And you're thinking, well, 10% chance? No, it's probabilities. Anytime you get into the 10%, 15% probability categories, that is very high. And we don't want that around here at all. Like, see you later, get on out of here, right? But that is the story so far. But we also have basically a hatched area, which means a strong tornado risk. And notice the counties: Campbell County, Anderson, Roane, Ray County. We've got Cumberland and Fentress County. So the Cumberland Plateau has the most significant risk for tornadoes. And I know you folks in Morgan County, okay, Sunbright area, you've already had a tornado this year. You don't want another one. I get it. But you definitely need to have a way to receive weather information. And of course, the East Tennessee Weather app is going to be the best bet, along with the NOAA Weather Radio, because the NOAA Weather Radio is the voice of the National Weather Service when you're sleeping or not paying attention. Listen, I've got one right back behind me in the studio. Super easy to program. If you don't have one, just go to the store and buy one, because the most significant weather really is going to come through tomorrow night into Thursday morning. But we also have a huge risk for large hail. I mean, we're talking about ping pong or larger size hail, maybe even upwards of golf ball size hail is going to be possible with any of the storms that fire up. And so that's again, but we also have a significant hail risk. So not only do we have a significant tornado risk for the Cumberland Plateau, Northern Valley, but a significant hail risk. So large hail, large damaging hail is looking probable out of some of these storms that do fire up. Does everybody get it? No, just keep that in mind. We're broad brushing this risk level because we're talking about something that hasn't happened, right? But we also have a severe wind risk as well. And that's all the way up to a 30% probability. And these kind of storms that come through during the overnight hours, they present way bigger of a wind threat, a severe wind threat, damaging wind threat than anything else at all. So there are going to be likely some power outages tomorrow night into Thursday morning. And there's probably likely to be a lot of debris on the ground as we wake up on Thursday morning to head off to work and head off to school. I wanted to walk you through some different maps, okay? You don't see these typically in the traditional TV world, but we're not there anymore, right? So let's go ahead and talk about this. This is Futurecast rotation potential, okay? And so notice the legend on the top right-hand side of the screen. Once you get into the yellows and the oranges and the reds, that becomes on the strong side. So that lets us know that there is more probability that we could see some spin-ups, some rotation, supercell thunderstorms that could be developing. That's what supercells are. They're spinning, rotating thunderstorms, and that's how tornadoes happen. Okay, so this is noon tomorrow. So not much of a risk at all early in the morning. But watch as I go from 2 to 4, 5, 6, and 7 o'clock, okay? So with that said, I think anytime after about noon tomorrow through 7 o'clock, we're going to be watching for the potential for some individual supercells that could tap into this environment, okay? Those are ones that we don't want to see. When you get individual supercell thunderstorms, think of the Great Plains, think of Kansas, Oklahoma, Alabama, Middle and West Tennessee gets them quite a bit as well. Those are the individual cells, and they don't have any other thunderstorms to steal the energy from it, and so they can tap into the atmosphere, the conducive atmosphere for producing severe weather by themselves. So that's what we don't want to see, but there is a little bit of a concern for that, basically, as we get into the early afternoon to early evening hours through 7 o'clock. Then as we go from 7 to midnight, here we go. Rotation potential starts to increase. Again, the reds are not good. We go from midnight to 2 a.m. Here we go again. We're still talking about the potential for some rotating thunderstorms. They're going to swing their way on into the area, not to mention a line of severe weather. That's why we have such a wind potential. But within this line that I'll show you here in a second, that's where you can get spin-ups as well. It's called a QLCS, okay? And so as that moves its way on through, that's what we're going to be watching. Now, as we get into our Thursday morning, the rotation potential starts to fade away. What I also want to show you, though, is as we take a look at Futurecast storm energy. This is also known as CAPE, convective available potential energy. How much buoyancy do we have in the air, right? And buoyancy plays a huge role in severe weather, because if we can lift storms to a certain level in the atmosphere, those storms will rise freely on their own. Think of holding a basketball in the deep end of a swimming pool. If you hold the basketball in the deep end of the swimming pool and just hold it down there, what does it do? It stays in the deep end of the swimming pool. But if you let go, what happens? The basketball shoots up real quick. Well, that's what CAPE does. That's what convective available potential energy does. It allows for that extra buoyancy in the atmosphere. And so if we can get to a certain level with these storms in the atmosphere, which is likely, those thunderstorms are going to shoot up like a rocket. And those are the storms that we need to watch closely. That's where we're going to get the incredible wind and the large hail. Now, as we head through the day tomorrow, the potential energy, futurecast storm energy, starts to increase. Why? Because we heat up the atmosphere. We've got high dew points. We're going to have another hot day. We got a very powerful jet stream moving its way through, not just way up in the atmosphere, but down below as well. And that allows for that convective available energy to be present. Now, watch this. You're going to notice from 3 till 7, we start to lose that a little bit, still on the strong side, through 3 to 7. And that's why I said, not only do we have a little bit of the rotation potential and the tornado potential there, we have the fuel, right? We've got the convective available potential energy through about 7 o'clock. Now, typically, and this is going to be the case during the overnight hours, we start to lose CAPE. Once we start to lose the daytime heating, we start to lose that buoyancy in the atmosphere. But that's not the say-all, be-all when it comes to severe weather anyways, okay? What else we're going to be looking at is shear, winds changing speed and direction with height. And that's how you get rotating thunderstorms. That's how thunderstorms start to rotate. So now we've got the storms to lift in the atmosphere. We've got a powerful jet stream to evacuate that air aloft, which allows for more air to rise freely on its own. And we have the spin in the atmosphere. So that's going to continue during the overnight hours. So we still have the fuel in the atmosphere. We've got the spin in the atmosphere. So here's what I'm doing, okay? So basically, I'm going to go from 7 p.m. Wednesday through 7 a.m. Thursday. We have the extra fuel in the atmosphere. I think that's when our greatest potential is going to be. But as I mentioned, generally speaking, anytime after about noon to 3 o'clock tomorrow, you need to stay weather alert, because if we get those supercells, those individual supercell thunderstorms to fire up, those are going to produce large hail, damaging winds, and isolated tornadoes cannot be ruled out. Here we go, right? But from 7 o'clock at night through 7 o'clock in the morning Thursday, the wind is on the high category, 60 mile per hour winds or greater. Put medium category for tornado potential as a possibility. Is it a guarantee? No, it's weather. Nothing's a guarantee, right? We're talking about something that hasn't happened yet. So do we tap into that atmosphere and get that? We don't want it. But do we get there? I'm going to put that in the medium category. But hail and isolated flooding and flash flooding, I put into the high category because we got so much moisture in the atmosphere to work with. So let's walk you through the futurecast, okay? Pay attention. Here we go. So we go from 7 o'clock in the morning Wednesday, which I've already shown you, but we're going to do it again, give you an idea of how this all plays out now that we've gone through all these other weather maps. And again, there's noon. Do we have some of that energy that single cell thunderstorm could tap into? Maybe. We could. And so then that thunderstorm, if that were to tap in that energy, that would produce severe weather. So from noon to 3, as this futurecast model, as this model guidance is talking about, those would likely become severe tomorrow afternoon between, say, noon and 3 if this actually takes shape, okay? And then we go from 3 till 7 o'clock. We may lose some of that, okay? But it's not over yet, because now we're at dinner time. We've got ball games. We've got outdoor events. It's Wednesday night. But now we go from 7 to midnight. And I talked about it this morning in the morning broadcast, by the way. And I said a lot of times these speed up because earlier this morning, midnight had it across the northwestern sections of town, more closer to Middle Tennessee, the northern plateau by midnight. But this model run has it zipping down and leaving faster. So basically, after we go to bed tomorrow night, you need to have a way to receive weather information, okay? Whether it be that NOAA Weather Radio, download the East Tennessee Weather app. If you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, I will throw it in the chat here in just a second. I'll let you know when I throw it in the chat. And there's super quick, easy links for you to click on right there if you're watching on your cell phone. And I will do that right now. So I'm going to dump this in the chat right now. There are the links to download the East Tennessee Weather app if you don't have so. Listen, the NOAA Weather Radio is the voice of the National Weather Service when you're not paying attention, but this is going to be a great tool. You get notified when lightning is within 15 miles of your location. That's great. That's the first sign. Oh, wait, I better start paying attention, especially tomorrow afternoon. You'll get all the watches and warnings issued by the National Weather Service. You can track it with the most amazing interactive radar that's out there, current, past, and future radar, all with the push of one button. So you can watch severe weather coverage live right there from your cell phone. If you've not seen this, I will show it to you here in just a moment. All right, so basically from bedtime till about midnight, we're going to see this line of thunderstorms come on through. We'll be broadcasting live tomorrow night. And then from midnight to about 2 a.m., that's when the main line will come on through. After that point, I don't necessarily think that we'll have a severe weather potential, but now we transition to a flooding and flash flooding potential. There's 3 o'clock in the morning. Now let's run you to 4 o'clock in the morning. Look at how much heavy rainfall we have around the area. Take it to 5, 6, and 7 o'clock in the morning. By 7, most of the severe weather potential may be on out of here, and we'll start to have to clean up, maybe get some power restored. You know, those folks that are going to be busy, whether it be law enforcement, EMA, all the linemen that keep our power up and running, they're going to be likely busy tomorrow night into Thursday morning. Rainfall potential, likely, generally speaking, 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. But with some of this heavy rain, with the potential for thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon, with the onset of the heaviest rain, with the severe weather potential after bedtime tomorrow night, and the heavy rain back behind it, I wouldn't be surprised if we see isolated 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 inches of rainfall. Isolated in nature. Not everyone's going to get that. But that would be that flash flood threat. So if you live in the low-lying areas, something to kind of keep in mind, right? As you go to bed tomorrow night, and we'll be doing another live tomorrow afternoon to keep everyone up to date, but as you go off to bed tonight, talk with your family, your kids. If your kids are home, if you've got latchkey kids, and they're home by, say, 3 o'clock, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you don't head home till 5 or 6, make sure they understand. Where's a good place to be, Mom and Dad? Where would I go in our house? So, well, let's talk about it. Walk through a safety plan in your house of where you would go. Obviously, manufactured homes, mobile homes are going to be the worst place to be. You definitely want to find an alternate location if possible. And the basement obviously is going to be the best location. Interior closets, bathrooms, those are going to be the best locations, as close to the ground as possible. But flooding, flash flooding is going to be a potential. Then Thursday into Friday, well, probably just through the day on Thursday, not really into Friday morning, as the actual cold front comes through, we also have that risk for some strong thunderstorms due to the fact that we have a cold front swinging its way through. And that cold front's going to bring us some relief, by the way, so I can put a smile on my face now. That's going to bring us some relief as we get into the weekend. So if you have outdoor plans this weekend, it's going to feel great, considering it's been really muggy and really warm lately. Here's that flash flood potential. Again, this is tomorrow into Thursday morning. The Weather Prediction Center has upgraded us to a level 2 risk for potential flooding and flash flooding. You got to realize that we picked up over an inch of rain in some locations just the other day, just yesterday anyway. So that flash flood risk continues Thursday, but starts to weaken a little bit. And when you look at our temperatures, we're going to see temps in the low 80s tomorrow, Thursday. Friday, we'll come back down into the 70s. And I just want to show you the big picture with this. Then we'll go over to the chat. We'll highlight some of your chats on camera here this morning. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them as best as I possibly can. But yeah, look at that potential for severe weather. As the cold front swings through, it shifts off to our south and southeast, and we'll begin to see improving conditions. Let me just kind of give you a broad brush, big picture idea of how this is all playing out. See how the storms will start to develop. It's just going to be a big old picture. So some afternoon thunderstorms tomorrow. Then tomorrow night into Thursday morning, look at this big old batch of storms from Middle Tennessee into Kentucky and everywhere in between. The rainfall will come to an end as we get into our Thursday and Friday. And then when you look at those high temperatures for the next 7 days, relief, my friends, is on the way. That's for sure. No freezing temperatures by any stretch of the imagination. So how do you download the East Tennessee Weather app? It's easy to do so. Just go to the Google Play Store, the App Store, Roku TV, Amazon Fire, YouTube. Come join me on social media, because what you see right now is exactly what you get on every single platform. No commercials, no pre-rolls, nothing like that. When I do severe weather coverage, or any of my platforms are exactly the same. So search EastTN Weather. But let's talk about the app for a second as I highlight that, because what I wanted to show you is how this really works and how it operates and how beneficial it can actually be for you and your family. If you have kids out there that have cell phones, this is going to be a great tool for them as well. So here we go. There is the app. When you open the app, it's going to look like this, okay? And so with that, what you'll notice is at the top, you've got your current locations. When you download the app, if you don't have it yet, make sure you allow push notifications. In this case, I would allow your geolocation as well, your GPS location, so it knows exactly where you are. Plus, the app goes wherever you go across the country, just an FYI. So when I broadcast live, I will be right here. But I will send a push notification and it will take you right into the 24-hour live platform, okay? But the interactive radar is going to be a great tool tomorrow afternoon. If you have lunch plans, if you have meetings as you head home from work, if you get a notification that lightning is within 15 miles of your location, what you're going to notice is that we do have, and let's see this, we actually have a watch out there. So we have an aerial flood watch right now issued by the National Weather Service. So you can add all that. You can add lightning data to this as well. So what you'll want to do is go up to the top right-hand side of your screen. See that little cogwheel right there? You want to go up there and go to overlays. Okay, so once you click on overlays, I would allow alerts. That's just going to show them to you on the screen. You can take those off if it's inundating your radar and you can't really see much of the radar. But I would allow lightning data as well. I got a wealth of weather information right there. You can put the surface analysis on there. But what you also want to do is put it on the national radar. Okay, and there's a reason why. Sure, you can put it on Morristown's radar called East Tennessee Radar. Okay, but the national radar, what it's going to do is it's going to show you current, past, and future radar. So look at this. We actually have some storms now starting to show up, working their way towards Winchester, Tullahoma. So watch this. As I push play, it's current, goes back 2 hours, gives you a 2-hour radar loop, pauses, and now goes into a future cast of 2 hours. How many apps do that? Not too many, right? So this is going to be a great tool. Plus, see that little, the box right there is obviously the severe thunderstorm warning. That is also going to be a great tool because it gives you weather information from the National Weather Service. So you can click on that. See the little icon right there in the bottom of your screen, that little exclamation mark. Click that. That's going to take you to all the information from the National Weather Service. You could read it, saying a severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 7 o'clock tonight for northwestern Jackson, northwestern Madison, Gives you all the information from the National Weather Service, and that's a great tool. It also has the ability to track these storms. So see that little line right there, the little arrow, the orange arrow? If you click on it, look at that. Now you've got a storm track. So then you click on the information and it will give you cities inside that storm track. Gives you direction and speed, intensity, and all the information that you will need to know to keep you and your family safe. So there's a lot of great tools. And in order to get those storm tracks on there, you come up here to overlays and you want to turn on storm tracks, which is right there on the screen. So turn on storm tracks. That way you can click on them and you can track the storms as well. Now, the little quick and tip and trick. If you click on the orange T on the top left-hand side of your screen, that will take you back to the homepage. But also on the homepage, we also have at the very bottom of the screen, I've got your daily forecast updates for those of that have not seen the app yet as well. I've got Witcher's Pictures where you can actually upload photos of any of the storms. We do have Witcher's Weather Watchers on standby, so a lot of folks have joined the Witcher's Weather Watchers group. Those are storm spotters who have taken the Skywarn Storm Spotter program with the National Weather Service. They have sent me their certificate from the Weather Service, and they will join us on the broadcast tomorrow. Pretty cool stuff, right? Boots on the ground, ground truth from viewers, from you, our society, our community. But at the very bottom, you see the current alerts. If you click on the current alerts, that will show you any sort of alerts that have been issued for your location. So again, go to the Google Play Store, the App Store, and search EastTN Weather, all one word. I hope you got the information. Hopefully you got the information that you need. Let's go over to the chat. I'm sure it's probably, I got to go back a little bit here, folks, and try to catch up because I know a lot of you have been chatting here this morning. I keep saying this morning, don't I? Let's see if we can't see. Okay, there we go. Let's see what you all are saying. And so this is kind of the stuff that I will be able to do during severe weather. We lose power, we lose internet. We'll have generator on standby. Thanks for the heads up. You're very welcome, Monica. And you may lose power and you may lose internet, but we have cell phone service still, right? Absolutely. So thank you, Monica, for chiming in there. Daniel, you're very welcome. So it's safe to go to bed tonight, says Elizabeth Ann Renner. Absolutely. You're safe to go to bed tonight. Sure. Could we get a couple of thunderstorms? You saw the ones down by Chattanooga. Sure. Could we get a couple of those overnight tonight? Absolutely. Am I expecting a lot of severe weather tonight? No. It's going to be tomorrow night into our Thursday morning. That's really when you need to stay weather alert and really stay on top of the game. It's been an active week so far, right? And so definitely stay on top of it for sure. Tony's got the app. You're very welcome. She says, do I foresee school delays on Thursday? I don't work for the school system. I don't work for the school system whatsoever. But if we have flooding, flash flooding, and a lot of debris due to the severe storms, if this actually happens, which we don't want it to, then likely the case. Yeah, you're probably right. Dina, thank you very much. She loves the app. You're very welcome, Kristen. Let's see. Tiffany's not looking forward to the storms, nor am I. It's going to be a very long night for all of us because I don't think we're all going to get a lot of sleep. If you have any questions about anything else, please let me know. Dina says, thanks so much for explaining the app. I'm still learning it, even though I had it for a while. Did know it had all those... Did all this now. Now I can go fix it. There you go. Now you know you can fix it. See, what you don't know, you can't know. You can't know what you don't know. And of course, we'll have more information tomorrow. We'll see what the Storm Prediction Center does. We'll see what the National Weather Service does. Anytime, if the Storm Prediction Center issues a tornado watch, severe thunderstorm watch, we will be highlighting that and likely going to be, off and on live weather coverage throughout the day tomorrow if anything fires up. Because I think that any storms that fire up tomorrow, even from noon to 7 o'clock at night, have the potential for becoming severe. And so do make sure you check in on social media. Every time I go live, I'll send a push notification to the East Tennessee Weather app. So that's why you have to have those push notifications turned on. Sierra says, do you think it's weakening any? Actually, I don't. Actually, I think the confidence is increasing for this potential. A couple days ago, before we got into the high resolution model forecasting and the long range models, I should say, the lower resolution, we're like, okay, looking like things are happening. But it definitely looks like that is going to be the case. So do we want it to weaken? Sure. Yeah. I'm not going to complain if we forecast tornadoes and it doesn't happen. I don't think it's not like snow, is it? It's a totally different ball game. Thank you very much, Jerry. Appreciate you. I think it could be a very crazy night, Edwin. So we've got Lee Bliss. Lee Bliss is going to be on, he's a Witcher Weather Watcher. By the way, if you're interested in joining the crew of Witcher Weather Watchers, just hit me up, mike@easttnweather.com. I'll send you the link. I could probably do it right now. Send you the link to the National Weather Service for the Storm Spotter program. And that, let's see, I'll do that right now. WS. So if you're interested, all you have to do is take the virtual course. And once you take the virtual course, you can send me your certificate, okay? So I'm going to post this in the chat right now. There we go. Post it in the chat right now. So you can send me your Skywarn Storm Spotter Program certificate from the National Weather Service, mike@easttnweather.com. Make sure you title it Storm Spotter or Witcher's Weather Watchers. Listen, we're getting a slew of you out there. And the cool thing is I will be able to pull you onto the broadcast and you can talk about what the storms were like in your area, but you got to have the certificate before I can actually bring you on. Let's see. Monica Pierce. Good evening, Monica. I keep saying good morning because I'm so used to mornings. I don't usually broadcast at night, right? She says, I love the app. We have no data in our area for phones. Oh, I watch you through Wi-Fi. We'll have the generator on standby. Thanks for the schooling on the app and the heads up for tomorrow. Listen, if I don't teach you how to use the app effectively and efficiently, then yeah, you're going to have to funnel around. You're probably just going, okay, good, great. I just looked at current conditions and the day part, and that's all I need. And most days, that's probably all you do need. And that's totally fine. But there's a slew of other information on the app. Also on easttnweather.com. I will be broadcasting live there as well. So again, all East Tennessee weather platforms. If you have Roku TV, Amazon Fire, YouTube, go subscribe to the YouTube channel. You'll get notifications. Well, you won't get it for Roku TV and Amazon Fire, but you can have that on while you're cooking dinner tomorrow night, right? In the background. Or you don't have to have it on your little tiny cell phone, which sometimes I do. I watch programs while I'm cooking dinner with the cell phone on the countertop. But you don't have to have it on your cell phone. You can have it on the big old, 100-inch TV that you may have in your house. You're probably like, yeah, right, Witcher, I don't have a 100-inch TV. Oh, good question, Ethan. So a totally different ballgame, actually. So this is going to be more of a... let's see. I'll see if I might have some information for you. Let's see. Hold on one second. Give me 1 second. This is the cool thing about what we do here, is that we can just chat about things. You can ask questions. It's a question and answer platform. And tomorrow night, as the storms start to develop and as they push through, listen, I'll keep you up to date ahead of the storm. I'll keep you up to date during the storm. You can ask questions during the storm. I'll try to watch the chat as best as I possibly can if you have questions about specific counties, and then I'll send you to bed when there is no threat for you anymore. So it's a give and take relationship. I live in this community as much as you do. I want our family, my family, to be as safe as I want your family to be. I don't want to be just a presenter. It takes a team. You scratch my back, I scratch yours, right? So let's work on this together to keep our entire community safe and informed about the weather that's ongoing, that will be ongoing for our community. And that's really what it's all about. Let's see. I was trying to find something for you, but I'm not quite sure I'll be able to find it. Let's see. Well, maybe I can. So, let's see if it's right here. Oh, I don't have it. Well, it's going to be pink. It shouldn't be pink, but... But we're gonna go with this one anyways, okay? So here we go. So let me stop this again. So it wouldn't normally be pink. It would be a black background. I don't know why it's pink right now. But here we go. All right, so tomorrow night could be called a QLCS, quasi-linear convective system. What does that mean? That's a line. That's exactly what our storm system tomorrow could be looking like, okay? So it's a family of storms moving in a line. They happen any time of the year, by the way, but a lot of times they happen this time of the year, along with derechos. Again, they can form bowing echoes or bowing segments. That's when the upper level winds push down on the storm, and you'll start to see the echo of the radar push out ahead of it, and that's a sign of damaging wind gusts. Let's see if I have that one. I think I have that one as well. But anyway, so the point of the story is no, I don't think this is going to be like 2011. It's a totally different situation than what we saw in 2011. Oh, and I just mentioned the bow echo thing. Here we go. I'll show you what that looks like. Ooh, hey. So maybe. Of course, my computer's probably going to freeze up. So let's come back to the chat here for a second. Okay, there it is. Let me go back. All right, so number one, scattered showers and storms form in a moist environment. We know that. We've got the high dew points. We've got instability in the atmosphere. Storms become linear, likely severe in nature. So when we see this kind of event, it's likely severe in nature. That's number two that's got to happen, okay? So this is very similar to what we're going to see tomorrow. The backside winds are stronger than the winds out ahead of the storm. That, my friends, is what pushes that echo out. As the radar receives that information, you get the backside winds, gusts ahead of the storms, called a bow echo, and damaging winds are associated with that as well. Here's another thing. Okay, so storm setup for strong thunderstorms with a strong updraft. Remember, we're talking about the possibility of supercell thunderstorms throughout the day tomorrow. So upper level winds meet the downdraft side of the inside of the storm. So strong gusts of wind pushes down from the storm. And that's what helps to push it out. So we get gust fronts. You'll see that. We saw that. Did you see that? We had photos showing up in, oh, shoot, where was that? Loudoun County? Maybe closer to Chattanooga. Maybe I think it was Loudoun County. We had that gust front coming through. They look really scary and really ominous. Gust fronts actually cause the air to rise ahead of a previous storm. New storms actually can develop in this sort of situation, and that's really what we're going to be watching here over the next couple of days. And let's see what else we got. What else do we have for you? Got a lot of weather information. Okay, one thing else you're going to see. So one thing you'll hear me talk about here through this event and many other events that do happen is I have a computer that has new technology, okay? It's the Barron weather computer. And so this has a Barron index, a Barron tornado index. And so let me start this over for you if you just missed it. So we'll start this over from the very, very beginning. This is a Barron tornado index, okay? The likelihood of tornadic development. The Sunbright tornado, this was picked up perfectly. Perfectly. It's going to show us conditions. So it's going to give us a number, and we'll talk about that number tomorrow if and when we need to. But the higher the BTI, the greater the risk. Once you start to get into the fours and the sixes, that's not going to be good. Sixes and sevens possible, sevens and eights are things that we will continue to talk about, and that's one thing that you'll be able to get right here on the East Tennessee Weather Platform. So we'll be talking about that Barron Index throughout the day tomorrow. So there's a lot going on with this sort of a storm system, and there's a lot that we're going to continue to talk about. Remember, we are talking about the larger hail sizes. So let's talk about hail sizes here for just a moment. And again, if you take the Skywarn Storm Spotter program with the National Weather Service, you'll learn how to measure effectively hail. But remember, non-severe hail goes all the way up to 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so nickel size, or 7/8, I should say. Back in the day, it used to be 3/4 inch hail used to signify a severe thunderstorm. Well, they did a lot of research and said, hey, listen, it doesn't seem that that's going to be the case due to the fact that, well, it's not really producing as much damage as we had anticipated. And so they bumped that up to 1 inch in diameter, which is the size of a quarter. So if you do get hail or large hail, what I would recommend is A, don't go out into it, obviously. It seems to go without saying. But the other thing is put a quarter in your hand, put a dime in your hand, put a penny in your hand with the hailstone so we can reference the size of that storm, okay? So a quarter, we've got ping pong, golf ball. So tomorrow we could see some significant hail, ping pong to maybe even golf ball size hail. I don't think we'll have tennis ball size hail. I think that's going to be too large, but again, that's going to be severe hail. And so that can create quite a bit of damage. So do you know how hail forms? We've gone through the severe weather potential. Do you know how hail forms? Well, again, you have to have some strong updrafts, but watch this. This is how hail forms. You get strong thunderstorms that do contain strong updrafts and strong downdrafts, okay? You get the cold air coming out of the storm. You get the warm, moist air going up into the storm. Raindrops carried up into the clouds, and parts of the atmosphere freeze into small hailstones. And then, of course, they start bouncing around inside the thunderstorm. And as they do, they grow in size. Well, once they get to a certain size, gravity takes a hold, and boom, then they start falling to the ground, and that's exactly how hail forms. And so that's what we're going to be seeing tomorrow. Very strong, powerful thunderstorms that could produce some very large hail, damaging winds, and isolated tornadoes. All right, my friends, let's go back to the chat and see what else you got going on. So anyways, Ethan, to go back to your question, I kind of got sidetracked there, but yes, it's going to be a different situation. We had a strong low pressure system coming in out of the deep south with a warm front, a cold front. This is not going to be the same situation. This is more of a wind event and a QLCS event, which you'll get spin ups within that. There you go, Hogue. Appreciate that. I mean, listen, Madison, may not need to hide there all night long, but pay attention. Or listen, if you have a basement, tomorrow night, just sleep in your basement. May not be a bad idea, especially if you have a 2 or 3 story house. Maybe not be on the 2nd or 3rd story. Let's see what else we got. Correct, Melanie. So tonight's not going to be that bad. Tomorrow night we're worried about. Tomorrow night is the night that we should be concentrate on. Let me while we talk about chat, let me go to a couple things here for you, and I'll just throw on the future cast for you. Okay, that's Tuesday. So let's go here. All right. So let's come here. So this is 7 o'clock tomorrow night, and I'm just going to keep this on the screen so you can get an idea of where these storms are coming from. So let me come back here a little bit, and we'll go to, there's 10 o'clock tomorrow night, okay? So I'll just leave that on the screen right now, so make sure you look at the data. That's 10 o'clock tomorrow night, and that's really going to be the story. So does it speed up even more than what it's doing already? The possibility is definitely there. You're very welcome, Dwayne. Thank you, Seth. I appreciate it. My wife works tomorrow too, so I've been kind of walking her through the timeline and the story because she does travel for her job. So again, if you travel for your job, you need to stay on top of this weather situation. I just seen that I needed to update the weather app. Kristen, yes you do. Make sure your app is updated. So Brent, I need to get with you. I do have a cert. Not sure living on your street helps. Yes, it does, Brent. Yes, it does. Come walk down. We'll have a cold beverage. If you have your certificate, I'll get you on the Witcher's Weather Watchers for sure. Because I'll be broadcasting, right? And so if you're out getting hail, I can't be outside. Well, I'll probably hear it on the rooftop of the studio, but that's about it. So Brent, come on down and come say hi tomorrow. Actually, come down and say hi tomorrow if you're not working. Let's see what else you got. Any other questions? Let's see. Trying to catch up on chat. All right, Branson, yes, I'll get to, well, there we go. You see it on the screen right now. So again, from basically noon till 7 tomorrow, from noon to 7 tomorrow, stay weather alert because we could see single cell, supercell thunderstorms, okay, by themselves, rotating thunderstorms by themselves. If we do see those would likely go severe. Damaging wind, large hail, and maybe an isolated tornado out of some of those because they have the energy. But what we're talking about, and so we can't rule that out. So from noon to 7, stay weather alert. Probably closer to, I'm just going to go noon to 7. We're just going to keep it broad brush because I'll have more details tomorrow. But I just want everyone to stay weather alert and know how to get this weather information and where to go. But don't forget to download the East Tennessee Weather app. Just go to the Google Play Store or the App Store and search East TN Weather because you'll get push notification from yours truly, the National Weather Service, and you can watch the broadcast and live severe weather coverage right there from your cell phone. Then, Branson, to answer the rest of your question, then I'd say anytime after bedtime tomorrow night. So after 7 o'clock, again, that's when this QLCS could be coming through, the line of severe storms. And does it push through closer to 9, 10, 11, midnight? Or is it going to be pushed back closer to midnight, 2, 3, 4? I think it's going to be a little bit sooner, so I'll probably go anytime after about 9 or 10 o'clock tomorrow night. That's when we could start to potentially be tracking the storm, which would be better anyways, right? I don't want to stay up all night long. You don't want to stay up all night long worrying about it or get woken up in the middle of the night. The sooner this comes in, we're going to have to deal with it either way you look at it, right? So but the sooner it comes in, the better off, the better we'll all be, hopefully. Although, maybe a little bit later, then we lose some of that potential energy in the atmosphere, so it's kind of it's a conundrum, if you will. But yeah, we're definitely going to be tracking that, so make sure you check it out. Let's see. Dan Andrews says, if you have a nice car, you might want to park your car in downtown in the city garages. That's not a bad idea if you don't have a garage. Awesome, Dina. I appreciate that. Let's see. So again, Dina Goins, I'm not going to be able to answer every specific town and community and county, but I will say that everybody in East Tennessee has a threat for severe storms. I'll throw on a couple other maps for you to give you an idea of what we're talking about, but this is our potential for the day tomorrow. So that is coming from the Storm Prediction Center. That is our risk for tomorrow. And it's been a while since, I'm not quite sure how long it's been since we've been in a level 3 risk, an enhanced risk for severe storms. But I'll have to go back out and check it. Yeah, amen to that, Dwayne. Please no tornadoes. I agree. Nobody wants any tornadoes for sure. But here we are, and we're going to have to contend with it and have to deal with it. So let's just play it safe and make sure you have those notifications and everything ready to go. So we have a level 2 and a level 3 risk for severe storms. But when you break that down, we can break that down into different categories. And there is a tornado risk. And so the Cumberland Plateau, the Western Valley, the Northern Valley is going to be the greatest risk for tornadoes. But you can see, I mean, it stretches all over. I mean, everybody in East Tennessee is at least under a 5% probability. Most everybody anyways, which is still pretty high. And when you look at the 10% probabilities, that's really high when we're talking about probabilities and tornadoes. So something to keep in mind. And that's why I just want you all to stay on top of the weather situation. But then you break it down, and there is an area that's known as a hatched area, okay? And this is an area that's going to be even more of a concern. So the area shaded on the screen right there is definitely more of a concern than the rest of East Tennessee. But does that matter? Does that make a difference that, I'm not in that red area, no, we're fine? No, not at all. That's not the case. And so Sneedville, so, you are under a tornado risk in Sneedville. So something to keep in mind. So again, the timing in Townsend and the mountain counties, I think anytime, so from noon to 7, watch out for single cell, supercell thunderstorms if they get going out ahead of this main line. The main line right now, we'll walk you through the futurecast once again, just to give you the timing of that. But real quick, before we do that, I wanted to show you that we do have not only the tornado risk and a significant tornado risk across the plateau, but we have a severe hail risk and a significant hail risk. And that's where we could see upwards of ping pong size hail. All right, so here's your futurecast. We'll run you through the futurecast once again. And let's go right there. All right, so here's Wednesday at 7 o'clock at night. And we'll stop the timeline there at, don't have a pause button there. We'll get a pause button in there. So let's come back here. So there's 10 o'clock tomorrow night. So depending on what time your bedtime is, I mean, my family usually goes to bed early, like 8 o'clock. So I say after bedtime, like everybody goes to bed at 8 o'clock. That's not the truth. So there's 8 o'clock. So pay attention, find your city, find the nearest city around you, find your county, if you even know where your county is. Did you know that most people don't even know where their county is on a map? So no reference. Do you live north, south, east, or west of, say, Knoxville? North, south, east, or west of Chattanooga, Tri-Cities, Crossville, some of the major metros here around town. Just know where you live and be able to pick it out on a map, because that's going to help you out for sure. At least the major city around you and your county. So here we go. So there's 10 o'clock tomorrow night. And again, this is sped up from what we were showing you earlier this morning. There's 11 o'clock at night. Okay. Now, obviously, this is Eastern Daylight Time, so it's going to be an hour earlier for you folks on the Cumberland Plateau. There's midnight. Here is 1 a.m., so Townsend, probably midnight to 1 a.m. per this model guidance, maybe even sooner. So the mountain counties. But I think once this main line comes through, that's what we need to watch out for. See how the wind arrows, watch this. See the wind arrows over by Maryville? See how they're spinning right there? Let's see if it can see. Right, I had it just showing up right there. That's a sign of those little embeds, those little rotations, those little hooks that we'll see within this main line that we need to watch out for. Now, again, this is just a model forecast, so something to keep in mind. So again, I would say anytime after 9, 10 o'clock tomorrow night, really start paying attention. But I'd say just through the entire day tomorrow, from noon till 7 p.m. And then the main line comes between 7 p.m. through about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, because there's 1 a.m. I think once this main line comes through, although Chattanooga, you need to watch that too, because Chattanooga, we're still on the tail end of that all the way through about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. But back behind it, then we transition to a very wet, very heavy rain event by the morning commute. Hopefully, everything that's already going to be happening will have already happened, and we'll hopefully start to see improving weather conditions. Although the cold front still has to come through tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, and that still could spark off a few more showers and thunderstorms. I appreciate it, Betty, and thanks a lot, Dwayne. What about Monroe County? Hopefully you got the information there on your screen, James, but appreciate you joining in. Got to watch on Facebook. New update broke the app. It does? Thanks, Ben Williams. I will be working on that tomorrow to make sure that that does not happen. If that is happening to you, I apologize. But hey, Ben, do me a favor. If you go to... Actually, I'll just do it on my phone here real quick because now I want to figure this out because I don't want the app to be broken. So, I think let's see if it does it to mine too. Because I don't want the app to be broken. So, I think let's see if it does it to mine too. It may be. So now you're gonna hear an echo. I apologize. Oh, it does auto mute. All right, that might be a YouTube thing. I'll get that figured out. Maybe the app thing. But Ben Williams, thank you very much. I'll appreciate that, and I will hit that. We'll try to fix that ASAP, at least by tomorrow. So please tune in. I will hopefully have that fixed. There are already severe storms in Chattanooga. Are they going to move to the east? So let's go to the radar here and see what's going on in Chattanooga. So we'll come to the HTX. And we'll come down to Chattanooga. And so we don't have any severe storms right now in Chattanooga. But 7:54. But we do have some strong thunderstorms to your west and a couple severe thunderstorm warnings right now, Tullahoma and Winchester. So we are going to be watching that as it moves its way northward. So like I said, we still have a risk for some strong thunderstorms overnight tonight. Isolated in nature, the atmosphere is conducive of it. We saw that yesterday, and that's really going to be the same sort of atmosphere that we see overnight tonight, and even more so, even stronger, more instability, more parameters coming together throughout the day tomorrow. So James Rogers, I wouldn't concentrate on what level. If you're a 2 or a 3, that's not going to matter. Just know that all of East Tennessee, but Monroe County is under level 3 risk. But I wouldn't worry about that. I think Tri-Cities is let me just double check, but I'll double check here for you. But I mean, level 2, level 3 risk at this point of the game, I don't think it really matters. But let's see, Monroe County is 50-50. Monroe County is a half level 2 and half level 3. Let's see. Monica. Yep. Merville better buckle up. Dwayne, but surprisingly enough, yeah, we've done research in meteorology. I go to the weather conferences every year. I think it's like 92% of Americans have no idea where they live on a map. If you were to look just at counties, okay? If you were to look at the a county map of just East Tennessee without the cities on it, I think it's like 95% of people would not be able to know where they live on a map. Surprisingly. But then again, I look at weather maps every day, so I kind of used to say the city, and I can kind of picture it in my head, so I kind of have a little bit of a leg up, I suppose. I don't know if I would be able to either if I didn't really pay attention all the time. And listen, we all live in our own bubbles, right? I get it. And again, don't worry about the specific locations. These are broad. I would just be concerned about, yes, we're all going to see the likelihood of some sort of severe weather tomorrow, whether it be damaging wind, large hail, or an isolated tornado or two. I'm glad you do, Sierra. Let's see. Nice, Dan. Hit me up, Dan. Mike at easttnweather.com. Subject title, Storm Spotter. I'll give you a chat. I'll give you a holler tomorrow if you want to become a Witcher's Weather Watchers. Nice, Ashley. Ashley just downloaded the app. Good job. Hey, can I get a... Oh, yeah, by the way, I have sound effects, too. I'm telling you, you should join the morning broadcast. Wake up with Witcher. We have a good time. We get to work with the forecast, and we sit back and just talk, just have coffee talk. 7 o'clock, Monday through Friday. Yeah, I do too, Gary. Let's see. Nice, Dan. Okay, hit me up tomorrow, or hit me up with an email tonight, and I'll reach out to you tomorrow. Let's see. Everybody's under a risk. Everybody's under a risk. You can see that. We're under a level 3 risk by the Storm Prediction Center in Dandridge. Hey, Barbara. She always joins me on YouTube. I love it, Virginia. I love it. You can join the broadcast if you'd like. I've got many more. All right, let's go back to the radar. And let's see what's going on down to our south and southwest. And again, we do have some strong thunderstorms moving towards Tullahoma, Winchester. So let's stop this and highlight those storms. There we go. So remember I talked about the BTI? So there's the BTI right there at the bottom of your screen. See my mouse? So that BTI of 1.7, that's the Barron Tornado Index. Anything under 2, not likely. But it lets you know storm size, storm strength, the direction, the motion. These are all things that we're going to be talking about. And then, of course, the cities that are involved inside that storm. Same with the Winchester one. Winchester is a BTI of 2.3. So these are numbers, and these are things I'm going to be talking about throughout the day tomorrow. It gives you potential hail size, which is, I think, going to be some significant hail. Possible tomorrow. So nothing going on right now. There's a tornado watch. So now we have a tornado watch for parts of Kentucky. This runs until 3 a.m. tonight. It does not include us here in East Tennessee and is just to the north of Fentress County. So we'll have to watch for that. But nothing going on right now. Let's switch to the national radar and see what else is going on across the country. And U.S. radar. So we have a lot of significant weather to our north. We've got tornadoes on the ground to our north. This is all in Kentucky and Ohio, Indiana. But that is not us, and so we're not going to concentrate on that right now. There are other folks across the country that are highlighting those. We're going to worry about what's going on in our neck of the woods. Michael, you better, my friend, you better. I think you'll like what you see. I mean, listen, I do a 1 minute with Witcher on there most days, usually every day. You'll get a long form weather forecast every single day from the app. You can join Wake Up with Witcher first thing in the morning from the app as long as it's not muting on you. You can get all the watches and warnings. Listen, just go download it. East TN Weather is what you need to search in the Google Play Store or the App Store. YouTube, easttnweather.com. I don't care where you come get your weather information. Just come to the East Tennessee Weather Platform. That's all I say. I mean, listen, we got a lot of folks here in East Tennessee. Yeah, Joey. We need to get that. I now just put 2 and 2 together, didn't I? Sarah. Oklahoma got a lot more. Andrew, so you can hit me up, shoot me a message, Mike at easttnweather.com. I have posted it in the chat, so scroll up through the chat. What are you joining us on? You're joining us on YouTube. It should go into the YouTube app as well. Let's see if I can respond to you directly. I can. So I am going to respond to you directly here. And there you go, Andrew. I just sent you the link to become a Skywarn storm spotter with the National Weather Service. And then once you get that certificate, just message me, Mike at easttnweather.com. We can join the broadcast. Listen, I could bring people onto the broadcast right now. Oh, thank you, Rebecca Gilbert. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Let's see, Seth, what are you saying? I leave at 7 p.m. tomorrow night, so I'll alert them of your forecast tomorrow morning and tomorrow night. I appreciate that. Michael Bradshaw. Listen, man, I came back in 2017. I've only been gone from local news for exactly 1 year now. And remember, I launched East Tennessee Weather in October. So we've only been doing this for like 7 months. Crazy how time flies. Crazy. And I hope you like what you see. I do. If not, I suppose there are other platforms. Can't please everybody. All right, so Chattanooga. Anybody joining us from Chattanooga? We've got some pretty healthy cells, but it's a special weather statement right now, so nothing too crazy with that storm. The stronger cell right now is just over Winchester. And let's see if we have. Of course, we're not really talking about and tracking severe weather here, but at least at this moment of time. But got some pretty healthy winds with that. Don't see any rotation. So we're doing A-okay so far with that system. But again, I think the atmosphere is just so primed and conducive for seeing severe weather that this is going to be the story for the day tomorrow. All right. Let's see. I suppose got a lot of folks on here right now. So thanks for joining. Got a lot of folks joining us from Twitter, by the way. Welcome, Twitter. 281 folks joining us from Twitter. 34 from the East Tennessee Weather YouTube channel. 12 from the East Tennessee Weather Facebook channel. And 93 from Mike Witcher TV Facebook page. Remember, I'll keep you up to date on Facebook. I'll do some stories. Go check out your stories throughout the day tomorrow. But again, significant weather is expected to break out tomorrow. Not a ton tonight, but we still have... let me just go through the future cast for the rest of the tonight. I don't think it really showed a whole lot. But let's go through that here for one moment of time. So we still have a risk for some strong thunderstorms overnight tonight. Remember, just to the north, let me just zoom out real quick. That's where we have that tornado watch, right? And that's where we have the more significant weather. But here in east here, it's gonna, we still could see some strong thunderstorms closer to Jamestown, Fentress County. Let's see what the model guidance is saying on this one. So that's 7 o'clock in the morning tomorrow morning. We don't want that. I don't want that one either. Give me 1 second. All right, let's go here. Go to the current time. Okay. So this is the current time. It's 8:06. Got those cells coming in out of the south. So Futurecast is picking up on that. This is the HRRR forecast, by the way. Model forecast, if any of you know anything about that. So you can see how the HRRR, this model guidance, has it kind of weakening as it moves its way to the north. So maybe as it moves its way just past Chattanooga, maybe it weakens, which would be nice. We don't want to see that. As we start to lose the daytime heating, I think we'll start to lose some of this potential energy. And then there's that cell. Let me just expand the view a little bit. There's that cell right there. That, that's why we have that tornado watch for parts of Kentucky. So Fentress County, Scott, Campbell County. Do we see any of that activity move its way into your area? Maybe closer to sunrise tomorrow morning. So Fentress, Campbell, Scott, there we go. And that's why we do have that severe weather potential through 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So this model of guidance is actually picking up on some of the latest information. So actually we could wake up with some significant weather tomorrow morning. And then that's as far as that model guidance goes, is by noon tomorrow. So something to keep in mind. Okay, so overnight tonight, I got so concentrated on what's going on tomorrow, I kind of forgot what's going on tonight. So storms coming in out of Chattanooga should weaken a little bit. And then that's the system coming in out of Kentucky, maybe clipping the northern plateau, northern valley. And then as we get closer to 7 o'clock in the morning, there's the morning rush hour tomorrow Do we see a little bit more activity? Possibly. And so something to keep in mind, north of Interstate 40 probably has the best chance as we get into the 10 o'clock hour. We'll be keeping a close eye on that. Here's the thing. If this does take place, it may eat up some of the atmosphere energy-wise to keep us from seeing anything severe from, say, noon to 7. Does that make sense? Sometimes when storms come through early in the day, it limits our potential later in the day. But also with that said, that does not mean that we won't have the overnight stuff like 9, 10, midnight, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. That's still likely to happen. But with the potential of some strong thunderstorms overnight tonight into Kentucky, some of that energy may be swinging its way into our area as we get into the morning hours. So something to keep in mind that we could be waking up with some showers and thunderstorms. So we will be broadcasting live tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock for Wake Up with Witcher. We will likely be broadcasting at some point of the day tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, and make sure you go subscribe and download and just get everything ready to go for the day tomorrow, for tomorrow night. Download the app, get on Roku, allow notifications, just have a way to receive weather information. That's all I want you to do. I'm here for you. Whether you come to me or not, doesn't matter. What I want you to do is be safe. That's what I want. You live here, I live here, we all live here. So just stay safe and have a way to receive weather information. That's all. And then we'll be giving you the information as it becomes available to us. And that's really what we're going to be doing. National Weather Service right now says the next couple of hours, we will be monitoring the cluster of storms coming in out of Huntsville. Environment is supportive of severe weather, hail and wind being likely in the tallest thunderstorms that enter southern middle Tennessee. So something to keep in mind. But of course, we just talked about that. So we'll be keeping you posted for sure. If I do need to break in for some crazy reason because of these storms that are coming out of Chattanooga right now, once again, that's what it looks like near Chattanooga. I will definitely send a push alert and keep everybody up to date. Remember, this is East Tennessee weather. I cover all the way from Chattanooga to Tri-Cities, the Cumberland Plateau, to the Tennessee-Kentucky border. And for you folks joining us from Kentucky, I do appreciate you very, very much. I try to incorporate you as much as I possibly can, but I cannot possibly do every county in our communities, even the old ones that I used to broadcast to. Let's see. You're very welcome, Terry. You like the shirts? Oh, I have a merch shop too, by the way. It's on the website. Just go to shop. I think it's easttnweather.com/shop. I don't know. Go to the website. I do know. But definitely, if you're interested in a cool East Tennessee weather shirt, let me show you. And more coming to the market later. We're trying to figure it out. Baby steps, my friend. Baby steps. All right, everybody. We're going to wrap things up. It's 11 minutes after 8 o'clock. As we get ready to head off to break, I'll take a couple live views of some cameras around East Tennessee. We do have some nice live cameras. Let's see if I can show a couple of those to you. I don't think that one's working right now. That's a live look there in downtown Gatlinburg. Cue the music. Cue the music. It's a nice little view of downtown Gatlinburg. Let me take this out of the way. We don't need that on right now. Folks just enjoying the nice evening in downtown. Not bad. Orange Hat? How about Orange Hat? Or actually, that's Hardin Valley. How about some Hardin Valley, huh? Nice view, nice little sunset this evening. Looks pretty nice there. And we got another one to share with you. And how about the East Tennessee weather? Camera right there in West Knoxville. We got several more. Some of them up, some of them are not up, but that's okay. All right, my friends. We'll cue the music and kind of wrap things up here. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me this evening. I do appreciate you very, very much. And let's see if we can't get that going a little bit more. There we go. Let's crank the music. It's time to end this show, my friends. All right, my friends, have a great night. Be safe, be kind to each other. Life is short. We all know that, especially the older you get, right? Stay safe, stay weather alert, download the app, share, subscribe, go to Facebook, follow along, smash that subscribe button on YouTube so you can get updated throughout the day tomorrow. And of course, make sure you allow push notifications with the East Tennessee Weather app. If you've not seen it, I will send you back to the 24-hour weather channel. I do run a local 24-hour weather channel that is up in businesses around East Tennessee. It's meant to be in the background while you're getting ready for work and ready for school. It is family friendly, and it is all weather all the time. No nonsense when it comes to weather here in East Tennessee. I sure hope you have a great night. I'll see you back here tomorrow.
You're watching East Tennessee Weather. Weather when you want it.
Hi, everyone. Sure hope you had a great day. We were talking about the possibility of some thunderstorms throughout the day today. They tried to develop, but just couldn't quite get there. And we talked about that earlier today. Saying, hey, listen, if we can tap into the atmosphere, they'll go strong pretty quickly, but did not seem to be the case, and I don't necessarily think that we're going to be seeing a whole lot. So it looks to be pretty quiet this evening, breezy and warm. Overnight tonight, we're going to see some quieter weather conditions for the most part. And then tomorrow, we'll have a few afternoon and evening thunderstorms that could become strong to severe. I think anything that develops in the atmosphere that we have through the day on Wednesday will likely become severe. And that's we have to watch very closely, because if we can get some of these individual cells to be developing after, say, noon, those are going to be the cells that we have to watch very, very closely, but it's not over yet, because Wednesday night and a Thursday morning, a line of severe storms, flooding possible, and significant weather is moving into our area. This is going to be one of the most significant storms we've seen in quite some time. So please, please, please pay attention. Have a way to receive weather information. I don't talk like this very often, but this is going to be a significant one, my friends. And then cooler, more seasonable or below average weather as we get into the upcoming weekend, which will be a nice relief after what we're going to have to deal with here over the next 36 hours. So for the evening hours, a nice evening, a little breezy out there, great night for a nice little walk around town, grilling outside. It feels really nice. The wind is going to be back off a little bit, but still a little breezy overnight tonight, not a big deal. So let's pick up our timeline tonight at 7 o'clock. You'll see that southerly fetch of moisture, and again, maybe a stray shower here or there, but that should be about the extent of it as we get started on Wednesday. Now let's talk about the big story, okay? So please pay attention, pass along anything you see on social media. I will be highlighting this, and we're going to be doing all the weather for this event, and we'll be broadcasting live as well. So Wednesday into Thursday, here's the story. The Storm Prediction Center now has increased the coverage of a level 3 risk for severe weather. There's only 5 categories, and now we can break that down. So let's go ahead and break that down for you. The tornado risk for tomorrow into Thursday, yeah, it is elevated for sure, and that's going to be the story. So we do have the tornado risk, but it doesn't stop there, because we do have a significant tornado risk for the Cumberland Plateau from Pikeville, Spring City, Rockwood, Wartburg, Campbell County, Fentress, and Scott County, and then points further to the north and west. A significant tornado risk. That doesn't happen very often, especially in our neck of the woods. Then you go over to the hail risk. Yes, we have severe hail that is going to be probable across the area. We're talking about upwards of 1 inch to 1.5 inch diameter hail, or maybe even larger. And so we actually have a significant tornado risk as we head through the next 36 hours. And the wind outlook is going to be there as well, because damaging winds, power outages are looking likely. Now, if you look at these storm threats, that's why I've elevated. I talked about this morning. High category when it comes to the wind damage. Moderate or medium category, because it does look possible, if not probable, at this point of the game. High for hail and flooding and flash flooding, although the flash flooding I think will be more isolated in nature. It definitely is going to be a possibility. So here's our forecast for the day on Wednesday. We start off relatively quiet, warm, breezy, but as we get past the lunch hour, see these little individual cells? These are the cells that we have to watch for closely. So from noon to 3, Cumberland Plateau, Tennessee-Kentucky border could see tornadoes even through tomorrow afternoon. Okay? But that's not even the main event. The main event's going to come after bedtime on Wednesday night. So there's 7 o'clock. And again, we could have some showers and thunderstorms around the 7 o'clock hour, so we'll watch that closely. But this is the main event. This takes us to midnight. If you were with me this morning, I said a lot of times these speed up. And based on the latest model guidance, it has already started to speed up. So by midnight, so I'll go anytime after bedtime, so 10 o'clock at night, Wednesday, have a way to receive weather information. Download the East Tennessee Weather app. It gives you all the push notifications for severe weather by the National Weather Service. You'll get all push notifications from me as I do go live for severe weather coverage. And you'll get push notifications for any of course, the lightning that's going to be taking shape. And we're going to have incredible amounts of lightning, wind, and the possibility of tornadoes. That's 2 o'clock in the morning. Heavy rain will ensue back behind the main event, the main line, and that's going to be with us as we get into the early morning hours. So that's the flooding potential that we definitely need to watch for. And then as we head through the day on Thursday, we may still see a few spotty showers and thunderstorms that could become strong to severe because the cold front is going to be swinging its way into the area. Rainfall amounts all the way through Thursday morning, I think 1 to 2, but pockets of 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 inches of rainfall cannot be ruled out, especially if you get storm after storm after storm in the same location. So that is something to be watching for as well. So that's why we do have also a severe weather risk for Thursday and the Friday from the Storm Prediction Center as the cold front swings through. Now, the flood risk is elevated up to a Category 2, a slight risk for all of East Tennessee and the region because of the saturated ground, the heavier rain that we've already seen, and the copious amounts of rain that we're going to continue to see over the next 36 hours. So your 3-day forecast, at least behind this system, we'll start to see things quiet down and it'll be a much more comfortable or cooler weekend. Here's that risk across the region. It's not just here at home. Anybody has travel plans Wednesday and the Thursday, make sure you download that East Tennessee Weather app because it travels wherever you go, by the way. So if you have travel plans, you need to stay weather alert. As a cold front swings its way to the south and southeast, the severe weather will be moving its way to the south and southeast as well. So you can see how this cold front's going to propagate off to our south and southeast. Here's going to be just a few showers and thunderstorms as we get through the day on Wednesday. But then here comes the main event. Wednesday into Thursday, and incredible amounts of rain around the area and severe weather. Back behind the system, the rain showers start to wind down. Yeah, still have a 20% chance as we get into the weekend. Not too confident we'll see a whole lot. We've got a lot of festivals going on this weekend as well. And as I mentioned, it is going to be much more comfortable and cooler. Dew points and humidity will come down back behind the system with our coldest morning coming through on Saturday down to 48 degrees. So I can't stress enough. I'm going to say it over and over again. Please download the East Tennessee Weather app or just have a way to receive weather information as we head through our Wednesday night, and during the overnight hours, you get all your push notifications. Just search East TN Weather, all one word, from the Google Play Store or the App Store. I'm also on Roku TV, so if you're at home cooking dinner, put Roku up in the background. I'm on YouTube, Amazon Fire, and all social media platforms when we broadcast live for severe weather coverage. So again, go to the Google Play Store or the App Store and search East TN Weather, all one word. Have a great night.